In this video, I'm going to be reviewing Spider-Man Far From Home. Hello and welcome to Movie Fan in Japan. If you're new to this channel, the way this channel works is that when I do my movie reviews, I first give you my thoughts about the movie before I watch it. I watch the trailer to get myself hyped up and give you my reaction after that. And then after the movie, I give you my immediate reaction. And then soon after, when I spend some time thinking about it, looking at other reviews and, getting all my thoughts together, then I will give you my final thoughts. But if you want to skip to the final thoughts, they will be right here. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I just watched Spider-Man Homecoming again for I don't know how many times yesterday to get myself ready for this movie, and then I can't watch Endgame again without spending a lot of money, so I'm not going to do that. And then I did watch Infinity War not too long ago. So having all those under my belt right now, I feel fairly confident that I'm not going to miss a lot of things in this movie. And I have seen the whole MCU slate, so I'm not worried about missing any parts of the stories or something like that. The only things is the cross-world stuff. That's the things that have me interested in. So I'm just trying to figure out what that is. And then with Mysterio, being a bad guy in the comics, and I actually don't know what to expect from this movie. Most likely he's still going to be a bad guy, So if not, then it's kind of weird. But yeah, we'll figure it out how this movie goes. I am excited about this movie. We get it first in Japan. Well, Japan, China, and I forgot which other place. But 3 countries get it first, and this is new for Japan. Not too often Japan gets superhero movies before anybody else. It's actually very rare. So I'm actually really excited about this. So I'm going to go ahead and watch the trailer and give you my thoughts right after the trailer. Okay, so I just finished watching the trailer and I'm really excited for this movie. I know I didn't mention some things before, like Iron Man's death, because, well, yeah, we're going to find out how we deal with that. And there's so many things that this movie might answer, so I'm really excited about this movie. I'm really excited to see where it turns, and so yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and give you my thoughts after the movie, and then after spend some time thinking about it, give you my final thoughts and try to put as much detail into that as I can. Alright. Okay, so I just finished watching Spider-Man Far From Home, and I really love this movie. This movie, just the story was great. It made me feel young again. Younger, I guess, depending on how old you are. But for me, it made me, I don't know, it just made me think about high school and everything. And so this story was pretty good. I actually enjoyed the story. The acting, I didn't even think about it, but it was good. I think that's the key thing with acting. If you forget about the acting and you focus on the story, then the acting is pretty good, I think. So in this case, I think the acting was good, the story was good. There's this one fight scene that was it was beautiful. Just beautiful, and I'm like, wow, I really love the way they did this, and yeah, for me, I got really immersed in it, and it made me I haven't seen something like this in a while from Marvel. There have been some scenes like this, very similar to it, but this one went deep into it, and it was it reminded me of 2 different movies, and they're just combining them together. A specific scene. I cannot say anything about it because this is a spoiler-free review, but it was beautiful. I like the way the movie ended. I like the beginning of the movie. The beginning of the movie answered a few questions for some people. There are a few questions that people had about the snap, and so it answers a few questions. Not every question everybody had about it, but it did answer a few questions, and so that's what made it so great. Yeah, so there was a lot of things that happened in this movie, and I cannot share them with you because, like I said, this is spoiler-free, but right now, I haven't thought about anything else, but it's a great movie. I really enjoyed this movie. I cannot express how much I enjoy this movie. There's been things that I just don't know. I just don't know. I just can't wait till the next Marvel movies come out until we find out what's next. Like what's guaranteed next on the slate. And so yeah, this one made me happy. Yeah, so there are some things that I would love to share. Like I just wish I could share so many things, but I can't. This is my reaction right after the movie. I wouldn't say exactly right after. I did spend some time because I went to a different theater and I bought 3 more tickets for me and my boys to see it tomorrow. So that's how pumped up about it I was. I'm like, I'm gonna watch this movie again. And I did pay full price, so I'm pretty much broke after this for the next month. But yeah. Do I recommend this movie? Definitely, yes. If you love Marvel movies, this is great. There are some things that you see in this movie that you're like, oh, I love this. If you love Spider-Man and love, certain things, oh, man. There's so many things I want to say, but I'm not sure if I can say it because I don't want to bring in spoilers. So, overall, great movie, great CGI. Did I notice a few things were CGI? Yes, but that's because there's certain things that just I catch with CGI that doesn't fit well with me. Certain movements, you can say, that just, for me, it's always obvious. But there's this, that one scene I was telling you about, that was a combination of 2 movies put into one, that one, a lot of CGI, but it was beautiful. Great. And I'm like, yes! And funny moments, like I said, made me feel young again, so I do recommend this movie, especially to watch that one scene in the theater. It was great. It was beautiful. I wish I could see that scene in VR. That would be freaking awesome. But overall, yeah, like I said, I recommend this movie. I think if you're a Marvel fan, you should watch it. If you're a Spider-Man fan, you should watch it. And yeah, I'm gonna spend some time to calm down, to think about it, to watch other people's reviews, to pretty much put my thoughts together, and so I can actually explain and talk about what I can talk about and not have to worry about it being spoiler free because it would be thought out. So yeah, I'll catch you after I spend some time thinking about it. Okay, so I spent some time thinking about this movie, and I watched some other people's reviews about this movie, and I did watch this movie a second time. I enjoyed this movie a lot. It is a great movie. If you love high school movies, or at least how you remember high school movies, then this is a great movie. I would say it is 60% a high school movie, 40% a Spider-Man movie. And the way it works within the MCU, it does work very well within the MCU. When it comes to the story itself is it's a very linear story. So, as a reviewer, I can't say certain parts without spoiling other things. So it is a very hard movie to review without giving out spoilers. But I'm going to try anyways. When it comes to the character interactions, they are really great. Without Tony Stark being there, if you compare it to Homecoming, you get more interactions with other characters, a few other characters, and you do see why certain things happen, and it is really refreshing for a high school movie to get more high school students in there. The first movie was like Homecoming. It was more about Peter Parker being like an apprentice, pretty much, of Tony Stark. And this movie, it's more like Peter Parker trying to learn who he is, seeing how he grows, and knowing what he wants versus his responsibilities, him trying to balance these two things out. It's not about separating Spider-Man and Peter Parker. It's about Peter being Spider-Man and being Peter Parker. It's not trying to separate them, but the way the story is told, it's just you don't feel like they're two separate people. You actually feel like they're interconnected because it's the same person. And so if you watch the trailers, then you kind of know what's going on with the story. And I would say, yeah, the story is a really good story. When it comes to the CG, it was great. The first time I watched it, I don't know if it was because of if it was a better screen or not, but it was really great. The second time I watched it, I kind of knew what was coming, but I still enjoyed it. But I think because the screen wasn't so great, and it was my second time, I didn't enjoy it as much, but but the CG was beautiful, so the people who did the visual effects on this, they deserve a round of applause because it was really good. There's this one scene that was just beautiful, and I really enjoyed that scene. And there are a few scenes without CG that worked out perfectly, that made this feel like a high school movie. You didn't need Spider-Man there, but you did feel nervous with Peter Parker. You did feel, anxious. You did feel excited. You felt the feelings he felt. Tom Holland did a great job acting. And Zendaya as MJ, in this movie, you see her, you actually get to know the character, and you actually get to like the character, compared to the other ones. Like, oh, okay, she's just, this awkward girl, but fun to watch sometimes, just like her interactions with drawing people on the other movie, Homecoming. But in this one, you actually see her, and you actually get to feel her feelings sometimes, and you're like, oh, I see what she... as a person watching from the outside, you're like, okay, I see this happening, and yeah, okay, I do see this and this, and it does create some, it's just a great feeling to watch this movie. It's just a high school movie that I really enjoy. And when it comes to being Spider-Man, you do know how Peter feels during the time he's Spider-Man. And the way everything connects together is just really well put together. So I would say the acting is good. Jake Gyllenhaal, I didn't mention him, but he's always great in everything he does, so, not a big surprise there. The way he acted was really good. And all the other characters, some other characters had some more screen time, and you did feel a better connection with these characters. It is a fun movie to watch. I enjoyed it through and through. There's this one scene that made my jaw drop the first time I watched it. This one did not have CG in it, and it was just... You're like, well, technically it did have CG, but... Well, okay. So, besides the point, the idea pretty much did not rely on CG, and... it was great. I'm not going to say what part of the movie it's in, because if I say where it is, then that just kind of destroys some of the movie. Moving on to end credit scenes, I'm not going to say if there are or aren't any, because some people do find that as spoilers, and I'm trying to keep this as spoiler-free as I can be. But if you really want to know, then I will tell you in about 3 seconds. If you don't want to know, then keep your eyes closed for 3 seconds. So I'll tell you when to look back. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Look away. Look away. And now you can look back. Okay. So pretty much if you know the whole story pretty much. Well, I wouldn't say the whole story. Compared to the trailers of Homecoming, the trailers for this one didn't give away the whole story. It just gave you this amount that the story needed. And there was one scene that was in the trailers that wasn't in the movie, and I know where it would fit in the movie, but I guess they took it out because of time. But yeah, it wasn't necessary. But it wasn't necessary. And so if you saw it in the trailer, then there's no reason to see it again, to be honest. Yeah, so acting, good. Story, good. It was linear. Some people might have small nitpicks about certain things here and there, but that's if you're going in as a critic, and I think if you're somebody who sees these things very easily. So wait, I said story, acting, direction was really good. The way, everything connected together, really good. And I would say, comparing this to Homecoming, this one, I enjoyed this one better because of the character interactions. There were more character interactions between many different people. And plus it being after Endgame and seeing the situations to me, like after people coming back, it was just, it was great. You don't see every specific situation. Like, I'm not going to say which ones actually, because some people were like, oh, you spoiled it because this didn't happen and I wanted to see what happened. It's like, I don't know how that's a spoiler, but I want to avoid that. But, yeah, would I recommend this movie? Yes. Do I recommend you watching in the theater? Yes. Do you need to watch it 2 times like I did in the theater? Probably not, to be honest. You don't need to watch it twice, but if you want to, and you want to try to make connections and see the movie, how the movie is through the second time, knowing what's going to happen, then go ahead, knock yourself out. But I would say for most people, 1 time should be enough. It's a really well-made movie. I would strongly recommend watching it in the theater. And so, if you haven't seen Endgame for some reason, or you haven't seen Homecoming, those are the 2 movies you need to watch. Yes, there are some connections to other MCU properties, but it's not necessary. So there goes my review. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't do reviews every week because I simply just don't have enough money for watching movies every week. And some movies I'll probably mess up the review. And also living in Japan kind of delays some movies, like I think Dark Phoenix came out last week or something. And yeah. I didn't watch it, and so I want to watch it. I'm curious about it. I haven't seen any reviews about it because I have been avoiding it, but it is the internet, and I have a feeling how the movie is. So I guess that's causing some hesitation. But if you do enjoy my reviews, please like the video and subscribe to, or you don't actually, just if you do like the videos, just comment. If you have some criticisms of how I do the video, just go ahead and comment that. You could always reach me on Twitter at Movie Fan in Japan. There you go. For a second I thought it was something else. But okay, Movie Fan in Japan, you could always reach me there on Twitter. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.